Hey there. So, I don't know. What do you know? What do I know? What don't I know? What don't you know? I don't know. Is there a lot of questions? I don't know. It seems so, but I don't know. Anywho, you know. Okay, so I'm gonna take it from here and cue the piano. So, like, what's it all about, right? What are we talking about today, though? Let's talk. Let's see. We could talk about the birds and the bees. We're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about, well, kind of what we were talking about yesterday, right? The meaning of life, the substantialness of itself. Yet, what if we were talking about air and nature and stuff like that? What if we were talking about everything like that? Who knows? But if you stay tuned, well, I'll find out, right? Now, I just want to say, if taxes were so in high demand, right? Or not in high demand, but such the right thing to do, why is it so drilled in your head that taxes are the one things you can't get away from? And death. Right? And I guess now there are these days that they say like, your car, or, whatever. It depends on whatever it is, Now they're pretty big on these days of, get your insurance on this, get your title for this. Anywho, I don't know. A thought process that I have, and it's not just me. I know I'm not the only one. It's just life, right? It is what it is. Yet, I just wanted to say and point that out. That simply to say that, like, if it was so, like I said, the right thing to do, then wouldn't it just be an automatic thing? You wouldn't be doing it because you're told to and it's drilled in your head. I'm just saying there's points of just what is the overall aspect of you doing something in this life. Do you know your rights, or do you keep on believing what someone tells you? Somebody. Well, not really somebody, someone. Depends on what you're talking about and who you're talking to and of and about. Because sometimes it is people and sometimes it is persons. And then it's all about the perceptional viewpoint of how you spell, and you're spellbound by what you spell. Because everything you give out, you get. Nothing, magic doesn't really create anything. It just changes the form and takes it from one place and brings it to another. Kind of like an attorney. Anywho. So, I'm just saying, I don't know. Just think about it. Less is more, right? Less is more, so. Okay. Well, I'm gonna cue that guitar right now, so you have a good one. Hey, well, this is the part where I let you remember, let you recall, and breathe in, breathe out. Feel that breath of fresh air in, clearing out that ball, molding. Dark, 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 let it be free. Hey, oh, Mary, oh, going down the alley, oh, hey, oh, let you go. God never does. Keep on going, yo. You're beautiful, and always remember that. You deserve to always know that. Thank you for being you too. So, what is the meaning of life, though? Well, could we have a show every single day about the meaning of life? We sure could. We sure could. It changes every day, though, every moment, really. It on the scale of 1 to infinity, it's always changing, so. I'm just saying, yet. So, what if one day the world was about to come to a point where it kept evolving, it kept on going, it kept on being itself, in of itself, with itself, of itself, and yet would never come to the point of stopping, because everything knows that if you stop, if in any way, if you stop, you're becoming stagnant, and that's death. That is what death is stagnation, is death air. Now, I've had someone tell me, and they were someone, actually. They were a person, and they went ahead and said that they were like an EMT. They had this EMT background. And, they're like, well, I've never heard of death air before. And it's like, what are you talking about? Okay, that doesn't mean anything, in a sense, of itself, it means a lot. They're just not, I don't know. I neither here or there for me to say what they are, yet the point of being is that the fact that they were this medical professional type of interface, right? That they were the all-knowing of that profession, right? Maybe not the all-knowing. I don't mean to like say it like that. I'm not saying like that. I'm saying like just that they had in the standing of the conversation, right? Of the roles that were played, of who could do what. They would be that. So like, right? And yet I'm not clouded down with all the beliefs that I was taught. You know, I'm not saying that everything that they learned was just a holy rollery disaster or whatever, or not even disaster, but like what I want to say, like a starshine, and when it's daytime out, you know, the good mornings here. So, yeah, I don't know. So, you know, I do gonna take a quick pause and then pause it back in. Maybe, I don't know. You ready? And so like, okay, so there's always the point where there's a good morning. Like, there's always morning somewhere, right? And again, it's always good, right? Or at least it can be if you are in depth of endowments of this gift we call life. You know, it's really this very beautiful thing that we have. You know, some may take it for granted and some may not. Yet, where do you really see it being taken for granted? You know, do you have a camera following you around on that television? That really is just very scary, I have to say. If you ever research what a television is, or at least the word, just the word, not what it does, not anything else about it. And even though there's so much more about it, it is on a whole nother level. It really is another level. Or at least I guess simply to say it's a doorway to getting exposed to the other levels of life and in and of what they are. I'm just saying. Yet, so like, what was I saying? Okay, so like, the point of there being this, it's always morning somewhere, right? You know, I only say it's good morning because that's like God, right? God is good. And if you ever look up good, it actually is an extension of God. That's where good came from, was God. And so, like, no pun intended, like quite literally, that's what it is in etymology, right? So, yet, you know, with that whole understanding of it, it's always 5 o'clock somewhere. It's not always 5 o'clock somewhere. It really actually is. It's not. If you ever look up time, it can be like 5 minutes or 15 minutes or 30 minutes, I think. I'm not sure the maximum or allotted time that it stands for or has in its depth of going with such a concept of working in actuality of things. To where it actually is, well, you have this what am I saying? Oh, yeah. The 5 o'clock somewhere is, it's a fallacy. It really actually it is. And that's why they push it, that's why it gets pushed so much, because it's a fallacy. It's all fun and games, right? Until someone gets an eye poked out. Why do they say that? That is a very intriguing thing. Like that right there is like a full-fledged food for thought. Like it just like double knee slaps all around for thinking about it. Yet, I'm thinking with have this whole of this health perspective that I have of it is that and so like you have the whole perspective of just seeing that well, maybe not just seeing, maybe you know it, you feel it, you hold it to be even true. Maybe you don't, hey, it's all each their own, right? Until somebody's eye gets poked out and the game stops being fun. Yet, anywho, so the point is that it's always light or dark somewhere around the earth, right? Yet it's not always 5 o'clock somewhere. And 5 o'clock is just a semantic thing to say, right? Yet, so like, that's where it comes down to though, is that it's always day somewhere. Just like it's always day 6 months out of the year on the other parts of the world. And just like it's always cold in the Arctic, maybe one day it won't be. It'll be cold where you are. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, there's points to everything, right? And so, like, don't shoot the messenger. That's kind of what I am. So, I'm just saying. Anywho, so, like, pretty much, let's cue in some music, though, right? Let's get that party started. Let's get breathing and refocused, right? So let's go ahead and do that. I love you. So I for sure wanted to find a good quote, and I think I found one. So let us therefore animate and encourage each other and show the whole world that a free man contending for liberty on his own ground is superior to any slavish mercenary on earth. George Washington. So that is a good one. I like it. I definitely gotta pick that up, and put it into my today. So anywho, that's my quote for the meaning of life that I got today. We could really look into that though too. You want to? Let's see. What do we have in there? What do we have in there when we look at that? We have let's us therefore animate, encourage each other, and show the whole world that a freeman contending for liberty on his own ground is superior to any slavish mercenary on earth, That's cool. I like that. I really do. Yeah, anywho, so let's go ahead and bring it back to some thoughts, What did we talk about today? What did we talk about today? We talked about the meaning of life, right? We talked about that a lot. And yet overall, what is the meaning of life to you? That's kind of what it's about. Even if it's not about that, it's how you get to interpret life in all of its glory, right? In all of its glory, get to interpret it for what it is. And so, what if you went ahead and did that though? Did what? Well, found the meaning of life. How do you go about doing that, you say? Well, what do you bring to the table is what I would have to say. You really are what makes life this beautiful place, this beautiful thing, Well, from what I'm saying is I see this beauty, and it is beautiful. It is very magnanimous in nature and miraculous in its bountiful blessings, right? So what does one see that they don't see in that, right? I mean, in all, you have your life to live. You have this thing that you call life, and there you go, Yeah, so overall, that didn't really clear anything up, right? That just kind of gave it a vague thing, but, as you'll learn, a key takeaway from today's thing is, well, to breathe and to know that the meaning of life changes all in every single moment. it's kind of like the now moment in nature, in its motioning, in its propelling itself onward onto the next thing. That's probably the easiest way to describe what is the meaning of life, because just because there's a meaning of life, if there's nothing to recognize that there's a meaning of life, then it's not that there's less importance in the meaning of life. It's just that there's a different element to experiencing something and being experienced from something that's experiencing you, or that thing, that ideal, right? Maybe it's not an ideal, but it for sure is let's just leave it at that, We'll say it's a for sure thing. I think that's a good ending point, So, anywho, you have a beautiful one now. So overall though, I just really want you to know that you're beautiful, that you got this, that there is a whole world out there that you might not just see. And that might be the thing, that you start seeing these days. And that's okay. It's life. It's always changing. No one said at any moment that this is a for sure thing. Maybe they did to you. Maybe they did. I don't know. I can't really say they didn't, because I wasn't at all there, per se, in this way that I could for sure say. that happened. So, yet, overall, I want you to know that taking it step by step, at one step at a time, is just what you gotta do, sometimes, all the time, really. It's not sometimes, it's all the time. Just keep taking steps on forth to the next goal, through the next door, and embrace the new, because that's the only way that you're really going to get through anything upon itself, Yet, you have a beautiful one now. And thank you for being in my life. Thank you for being you. And overall, what is the meaning of life to you? Is it really just a for sure thing, like that one other guy was talking about? Or is it your in-depth measurements of how far you're willing to go and say that you love yourself in this lifetime? Because if you trust in God, you will prevail. I think I'm saying close. Yeah, anyhow. The point is that you will prevail. Bevel. No, it's definitely not with the B. Prevail. I might sing it, I just don't realize. It doesn't sound like it, I don't know. But anywho, you keep going, and you keep being you, and doing you, because you got this. Okay, baby. peace, love, and, give yourself one big hug because you deserve it. Much harmony and love.